What's up, my fellow Leos? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tawny Michelle, and we are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here, so please keep that in mind. And I am a Leo rising, not a Leo sun, but a Leo rising. And let's get into it. So this is your predictions and all of that for February. Basically, your astrology and tarot predictions. So we're going to go over both. February is possibly one of the biggest months of 2021 as well. So yeah, we have a lot of planets happening here in Aquarius, which for you, Leo, is your opposite sign. You know, this deals with anybody that's not you, basically. So, but a lot of the times it deals with your significant others, your relationships, your friends, the outside world. A lot of us this month may feel some opposition, okay? In some way, shape, or form, we may start feeling some opposition. And I feel like a lot of Leos are in a place where, you know, I'm filming this on the Leo full moon at the end of January. And I feel like a lot of Leos are in a place where you're starting to see where you've been deceiving yourself in order to keep some kind of balance or keep some kind of peace, where you have let fear dictate like what's going on or what you want to, you know, what you're doing, etc., etc. And I see that here as well because we also have the mask and the fox here. So where have you been possibly deceiving yourself? Where have you been acting like something you're not, or trying to hide something within you to keep the peace or to appease others, or etc., etc.? You know, and Leo as a sign is very much about authenticity, you know, and who we are authentically and how we relate authentically and expressing who we are, our desires, and being ourselves, because we're ruled by the sun, right? So it's like the sun doesn't need to act like another planet, right, to get by. Like the sun doesn't need to hide who it is. It just is what it is, right? And so that's what I feel like a lot of Leos are kind of dealing with right now. And I think this Leo full moon that happened at the end of January is a time where you were shown this. You were shown what needs to go, what needs to get cut off. You know, you're being shown what needs to end, and you've been given the key to end it. You've been given a solution, a way to get across it. But it's like, are you really ready to let these things go that no longer resonate with who you are? Are you really ready to let things go that are no longer authentic to who you are? Are you ready to get rid of this mask? You know, this could be an old life, this could be a relationship, this could be a friend group, this could be whatever, you know. But there's something here in February that I see you guys cutting off. And for some of you, it could be an old relationship. You know, we did have the Lovers fall out in the pre-shuffle, which makes sense. This month is very big for relationships for Leos. You're gonna have exes coming back. You're gonna have people from the past coming back in your life. So expect that. You may run into them unexpectedly, you know. They may try to schedule a time to meet up with you. You know, they may hit you up on social media, but there's going to be a return of something from your past, and it may confuse you on which direction to go. So it's important that you pay attention to the signs and patterns this month, Leo, because you have the key and you're allowed to end this. If it's not who you are or authentic to who you are, you're allowed. I mean, I'm just saying. And it's time to really get back to who you really are, because you're gonna have a lot opposing you this month, and on and off throughout the whole year with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, right? Mercury's retrograding in your 7th house. This is a time of endings. This is a month of endings. It's going across your descendant if you're a Leo rising. And if you're not, it's going to be opposite your sun. Basically, the verdict is kind of paused at the moment on a relationship. It could feel like your relationship life kind of slows down or may be reflecting on some things regarding your relationship. This is a time of letting go. This month there could be some situations that come up in relationships that really force you to see a new perspective, but you have to be willing to see a new perspective and to see the other side of something and not be stuck in your ways, not be rigid about it, and not be like, no, it can only be this way, it can only be my way. You have to be willing to look at another side of a situation this month, Leo, but you also have to be willing, and it's likely the side that you haven't looked at yet because you don't want to, right? It's like, I would rather just keep it to myself, etc., etc. We have like literally the Magician and the High Priestess coming out here. Wow. Wow. You're going to see this month, Leo, where you need to trust yourself more and where you need to bring it back to you. It's going to be so easy. Listen up here, Leos. It is going to be so easy to point your finger and say, that's what's wrong. That's what needs to change. That person did it. It's that person's fault. This, that, and the other, right? And I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen and that everything's your fault. I'm not saying that either. But what I am saying is that you need to bring it back to yourself. Okay, so yeah, that wasn't my fault. I had nothing to do with that. But what can I do now? What's in my power now? You need to listen to your inner knowing and start getting in the middle, in between, rather than automatically thinking that, oh, I'm the end all be all here and I can choose, you know, who's right and who's wrong, what's good and what's bad, you know, instead of being self-righteous about it and thinking that you know some shit. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like be a bitch here, but I mean, I'm a Leo rising, so I'm going to be remembering this for myself too. But yeah, this is going to be so important for you to trust in your own self, trust in your own power, trust in your own potential, instead of getting dragged down by the external world or other people or whatever, what other people are doing and what's going on with them. For some of you, this could be work related. Okay. I do see something coming up here with, I really am getting that this is possibly somebody coming back around in your life from your past that either wants to connect or wants to share something, wants to apologize, something like that. I'm getting possible Scorpio vibes. They may not be like an actual Scorpio, maybe they're just a Scorpio rising or something possibly Cancer too. It may just be like a moon sign or a, you know, rising or something like that. Or even somebody that just like you really connected with deep on an emotional level if it's not a water sign, right? I mean, this is a general reading, so. But basically, Knight of Wands. Whew, Leo, you're going to find yourself in some interesting situations with relationships and people from your past this month. Definitely let me know how that goes down below. There we go. There's the Hierophant. This is what I'm saying. Don't rush into viewing something because, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. Like, don't rush into this shit. It's not going to be because you're going to be like, oh, I have the answer. I know the change. I know it needs to happen. This is like self-righteous, dogmatic, asshole kind of behavior. Be careful with this. I'm just saying, it's going to be different for different ones of you. You know, yeah, some of you might need to tell this ex to just completely screw all the way off. I don't want what you're offering. You know what I mean? Some of you may need to hear them out. Some of you, this could be in your own relationship, right? And it could go either way with that. Or it could go either way with somebody, you know, some kind of friend group or whatever is opposing you. Whatever is outside of you this month is such a big deal, the world. Whatever this is it's ending a major cycle. But you have to be able to stand in your own truth, to look at things from a higher perspective, to not try to immediately judge what's right or wrong. And that's what the the High Priestess is all about. You know, this is about in between, staying in the in between, knowing that there's duality and being okay in the middle, not getting caught up in the game. That's what's going to be big, because it's going to be really tempting to assert your opinion based on your own insecurities, based on the past, based on your own hardships, your own struggles, based on betrayal, based on guilt, based on indecisiveness. But you have to be careful. Now we have the Queen of Cups coming out here as well. I think some of you guys are going to have a reflection on something that possibly hurt you, that you've been struggling with for a while. Yeah, see? Something that happened in the past that was unexpected, and kind of left you feeling betrayed, feeling like no one was there to help you. You felt it was very unfair and unjust. For some of you, it could even be family members, or it could be a job or a career or something like that. But there's definitely some trigger coming up here this month, Leo, that you need to watch out for. It's in the astrology, it's in your cards. But this is about moving forward. This is about finding your confidence by facing this fear, facing whatever this is, and allowing yourself to feel it instead of running from it or immediately projecting it outside of you. Keep looking at the side that you're not seeing, okay? Look at all sides. What's the side of this you're not seeing? Okay, so back to the astrology. You know, that first week is going to be intense. We have Venus moving into Aquarius. The Sun and Mars are going to be in a square between your 10th house of career, authority figures, your future, what you want out of life, what you want to possess, what you want to have in life, versus also your reputation, versus, you know, some kind of challenge with other people or some kind of opposition or a relationship, an agreement, a contract. You know, where do you need to show who you really are, even if it goes against the norm or even if it's controversial? Like, as I've been saying for a while, this energy is so controversial for Leos right now. It is so controversial. Like, it is literally like, it's just controversial. It's very rebellious. And it's time to embrace who you are and trust yourself. Trust yourself, trust your own potential. Know that you are so much more than this right, wrong, good, and bad shit, right? So much more. I mean, I'm just saying. And I know not everybody's like down with a relationship reading, but that's what this month is all about. So even if you're not in a relationship, you're going to be seeing things with relationships. It may not be with a partner. It may be with a business partner. It may be with a coworker. It may be with a friend. It may be with a family member. Maybe just the relationship to yourself or relationships in general. You know what I mean? We do have a Mercury Sun Cazimi around the 8th. Mercury's going to be retrograde. You want to watch out for that time, Leo, because you may find that there's something exposed or some kind of news, some kind of information that comes to light. It could be something like backtracking, or somebody retracting something, or somebody revisiting something through a conversation with you. And it may, if it's some kind of news that's expressed, it may not be entirely accurate, or there may be more to come. But also it could be literally someone showing back up in your life and giving you some kind of apology, you know what I mean? Or wanting to reflect on the past in some kind of way. Now, another thing happening that very first week of February is we have a really intense day, okay? So On February 4th, the moon's going to be in Scorpio, causing a T-square to the shit show in Aquarius, and Mars and Uranus in Taurus. So this is your 4th house. So you may see some tensity or some fear coming up around home, family, the past, some nostalgia, something being dug up, you know, or your roots, something. There's definitely some kind of conflict here. I'm interested to know that how that ends up going for some Leos. But this is definitely a time where you may feel a little bit more down that day, or a little bit like you want to like crawl into a hole kind of energy. This could be regarding like finances or something too, or family, like I said, or your home, or who you live with, your living arrangements, the dynamics at your home, you know, something like that. So let me know how that goes down below. It's going to be important to, once again, allow yourself to feel things, allow yourself to move through it, allow yourself to understand, to look at things from a different perspective and a higher perspective. You know, and there may be like some kind of surrendering going on that needs to happen within a relationship this month, Leo. It may be really easy to get into some kind of disagreement, some kind of argument, not seeing, you know, the other side. And so that's why I keep saying, like, it's going to be really important to try to stay in an in-between place, basically. So, we do have the new moon happening in Aquarius on the 11th. Venus will be conjunct Jupiter that day, trining the North Node. That should be an interesting, and I feel like possibly a more positive time for Leos. This is going to be some kind of new progressive beginning, looking at things from a higher perspective, looking at things in a new way, wanting to move forward, a really kind of forward moving type of energy, like a fresh start type of energy. Mercury will still be retrograde though, so it may not be actually doing something. It may just be like the idea of it, or feeling mentally better about it, you know. So yeah, Mercury will go direct on the 20th, and that is basically it. We do have a full moon in Virgo on the 27th, which will bring up themes around finances, resources, priorities, money. So that should be a time where you start seeing those themes come up towards the end of the month. Plus, as Venus moves into Pisces, and so does the Sun, which is our 8th house, which once again, other people's money, other people's resources, business related things, also very in-depth spiritual taboo related stuff as well could come up, but we'll talk more about that next month. So anyways, let me know, you guys, if you related to this reading. You're free to come back throughout the month and check in and see what's going on. If you're like, oh my god, I forget like what's happening, or you're free to take notes, whatever, and look through those throughout the month. And definitely tag me on social media if you're watching this. Probably should have said that before. But and follow me on my social medias. They will be linked below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, Leo, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.